Well, hi y'all. Welcome to National Pie Day. We're going to whip us up a really good sweet treat today. It's going to be a little tropical. It's a millionaire pie. Some people call it a $1,000,000 pie. You can call it a tropical pie. I don't get real caught up on the name because you can vary the ingredients and just make it the way your family likes it. But let me show you what is in this pie. I have a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, and you want to put that in a colander and really mash all the juice out as much as you can because we don't want it to be too juicy, do we? It's syrupy. Hang on just a second. Okie dokie. And to this, I have 1 container of sweetened condensed milk. The first time I ever had this pie, someone brought it to a potluck at church, and we all just stood around, got at the kitchen sink when we were cutting it to put it on the dessert table, and oh my good golly gee whiz, it was so good. One of those. And then I have a 1/3 cup of maraschino cherries that I have chopped, and I've held out some for garnish. And I have a 1/2 cup of toasted pecans I've chopped, and I held out some for garnish. And then I have 1 cup of toasted coconut, which I have held out some for garnish. Now this coconut is my absolute favorite to use, especially if I'm making coconut shrimp, because it's very fine. It's not at all, it's not just real loosey-goosey. Have you ever called coconut loosey-goosey? I don't think so. I have a 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. And we are going to add 1 tub of Cool Whip. I'm going to get this mixed up first because I don't want to deflate that Cool Whip. Now, you could absolutely make fresh whipping cream if you wanted to, and that would be delicious. But today, because I'm needing some more Southern Tupperware, we're using a Cool Whip tub, because you never know whenever you reach in the refrigerator to get one of these out exactly what in the world is going to be in there. You never know. Alrighty, and I'm just going to just fold this in. At the end of this video, I'll attach the video of whenever I was making my graham cracker crust last night, because I did want it to cool completely. And you could absolutely use the store-bought graham cracker crust. And whenever I do that, if I'm going to take it somewhere, of course, I have to, mine's a gluten-free, and if you're interested in why that is, you can scroll back and see whenever I explain that. But I will buy the pie crust that has 2 extra servings of in a graham cracker pie crust. Okay, there we go. Now make sure I put everything in it, and voila, et voila, a pie shell. So we're just going to pour this in, and this is so fast and easy. Y'all saw how fast that was to put together, but you want to leave it in the refrigerator for several hours, 3 or 4 at least, and it will firm up, and then it'll slice well for you. And if you wanted to get more servings out of this, you could make use the smaller pie shells and make your crust in there. Because that is a lot of pie right there, y'all. Okay, now for the pretties. And with my clean hands, I'm just going to draw out some cherries. And if your cherries have the stem on it, none of these have the stem on it in the container, you could use those. Those would be pretty. And those are more found in the cocktail mix part of the store. I'll put my pecans on. And a little bit of this toasted coconut. And we're just going to go put this in the ice box. Let it sit in the fridge for a while and get cool. And then we'll get back together when this is ready to serve, and we'll get us a little bite and we'll see what we think. So, see y'all back in just a little bit. Well, okay, y'all, we have waited about as long as I think we can wait. And our pie is good and cool, and it is solid. Isn't that pretty? That's just pretty. Okay, let's slice into this. And the crust is crunchy sounding. And this is going to be so rich. And I think that that is the reason why it's called a millionaire pie, because it is so rich. I'm just going to cut just a little piece. We'll just see what we think here. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that, y'all. That's going to be so good. So, so good. All right, let's get us a little taste of this. It look pretty. Y'all, oh my word. This tastes like a tropical vacation. It is so good. And I know a man that is going to be tickled pink whenever I take him his cup of coffee and piece of pie. So, anyway, this is National Pie Day. And I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. And let's having a piece of pie together. So, pie, pie, pie. Me, oh my. Bye, y'all. Well, hey, y'all. Welcome to yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and make up this gluten-free graham cracker pie shell tonight and bake it so it'll be cool in the morning when we get ready to make that millionaire pie. Now, what I have is 1 box of Char brand honey grahams, and it's a 5.6 ounce box. And you're going to need 1.5 cups of crushed graham crackers for this recipe. And I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of the ingredients together, and I'll tell you about it whenever I'm talking about it. And you're going to need 6 tablespoons of melted butter. And I always use salted butter, but you can use whatever you have, whatever you like. And we're going to get every little bit of that out of there. And then I'm going to use 1/4 cup of sugar. And there we go. Now let's see, where were we? Okay, 1.5 cups is what you need on the crumbs. And you can put that in a food processor. You can do what I do, and I just take my grations out on it. I just take a Ziploc bag and my grandma's rolling pin, and I just break them up like that. And that works best for me. Then I don't have something else that I have to wash that has 1,000 kajillion pieces. Now, if you were making this millionaire pie that I'm going to be making with y'all tomorrow, you could absolutely use a store-bought pie crust. And whenever I do that, I'm not going to eat one that's not gluten-free, because, we talked about that the other day. You can scroll back if you want to know about that. But the ones that they make that are pre-made, they're great. They're wonderful. But I would get the one that has the 2 extra pieces in it. That way you have extra servings that way. Okay, we're just going to put this in our pie plate. And I've got my oven preheated to 350. Now, if you were going to do a cheesecake in a springform pan, you would not add 6 tablespoons of butter. You would add 5. But other than that, you wouldn't vary this at all. And y'all, my hands are clean. And this is just one of those things you just got to get in there, y'all, and do it. But you do want to press it down. And yes, I know I just touched that box. Y'all, it's my kitchen. I can't help it. I can't help it. But you're going to bake this for about 10 minutes at 350. And you want it to be firm, but you don't want it to be tight, so tight that you can't hardly cut it. Try to get it evened up around here. Okay, then I'm just going to take the bottom of my coffee cup, which is flat, and I'm just going to kind of make it even. There we go. We'll take a spoon and just kind of encourage this right around here like this. Now, when you're doing a graham cracker crust, You don't worry about the edges being down like they would be, the edges being crisp like you would in a regular pie shell, because you want the integrity of that thickness around here so your piece of pie will hold together better whenever you take it out. Okay, and I will see y'all tomorrow when we make that millionaire pie. So y'all sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.